Hey, how's it going?
I guess that's going to be my answer. I'm Clark.
I'm Karina, and welcome to It's Always Spooky.
It's always spooky.
So today, I don't know what year this came out. We're doing, we're doing a Netflix show, so it's going to be a slightly different format. But we're going to be doing Midnight Mass by Mike Flanagan.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Sorry, 2021.
2021. I knew it was in the 2020s. I just was like, oh, fuck. I don't remember. I couldn't remember if it was 2020 or not.
Yeah, so 2021's Midnight Mass.
So one of my favorite things about Mike Flanagan is that he does this really great job of recycling his cast members.
Yeah.
So like if you've seen Haunting of Hill House or Haunting of Bly Manor, hell, if you've seen some of his movies that he's done, you've seen some of these actors before. But I'm going to very quickly just kind of run through them on the IMDb page because there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of characters. I mean, I could probably even just do like the top 5 and then we can kind of bring actor names as they pop up.
I was going to say, I think I have the top 5. However, the top 5 doesn't actually even include one of the main characters of these 2 episodes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So what
that
are your
says how
top?
many there are?
What are your top 5?
I have Aaron Green, played by Kate Siegel.
Mm-hmm.
I have Riley Flynn, played by Zach Gilford.
Mm-hmm.
Annie Flynn, played by Kristen Lehman. Bev Keane, played by Samantha Sloyan. Warren Flynn, played by Igby Rigney.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Mm-hmm. I've also got Rahul Kohli playing Sheriff Hassan. I've got Anara Simone playing Lisa Scarborough. Annabeth Gish plays Dr. Sarah Gunning. Alexa Esso plays Mildred Gunning, Sarah's mother. Rahul Aburi plays Ali Hassan. That's kind of cool. Both of them are named Rahul. You got Matt Beadle playing Sturge. Michael Trucco playing Wade. Crystal Balint playing Dolly. Lewis Oliver playing Ooker. Henry Thomas playing Ed Flynn. And then Hamish Linklater playing Father Paul.
That was the one I thought was missing. I was like,
Father Paul.
yeah.
I don't think Hamish has been in any other Flanagan works that I remember, but I know like Rahul Kohli, definitely Kate Siegel, Samantha Sloyan, like a lot of those characters. Even Mildred's character is in a lot. Same with Henry Thomas. And then Robert Longstreet, who plays Joe Colley. He's also like a Mike Flanagan kind of veteran.
Okay. I remember when I first saw Kate Siegel come on the screen, I was like, oh my God, she's perfect. She is a perfect human.
Yes. She's beautiful. She's
gorgeous.
Stunning. Well, and obviously, you know that's Flanagan's wife.
Yeah, because she was in Oculus, right?
She played Marisol in Oculus. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's been in a lot of his movies, if not most of his movies, and then quite a few of like the Netflix TV shows. I think the only one I don't remember her in was Midnight Club, but she might have been in that one too.
Okay.
And then I don't know if you noticed this, but Carla Gugino actually makes a cameo in the first episode of Midnight Mass.
Who was Carla?
Do you know who Carla Gugino is?
No.
She's the mom from Spy Kids.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's the judge who gives Riley his sentence.
Oh,
so
okay.
you just hear her voice, but like, I know.
Icon.
But I know. So the title card for this, pretty simple, white font, Midnight Mass on a black screen. But right after that, I decided to add this too because I thought it was effective. Right after the title card is the Jesus fish symbol on Riley's car with the emergency like red and blue lights.
Yeah.
And I liked that they started with that imagery of like Catholicism and Jesus saves and what would Jesus do and like all of these different mantras. And then the immediate cold open of like what's going on in this scene.
Yeah. And then there's also like a episode card too that's book 1 Genesis, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think it's right after that point.
I think it is too.
Because then they also do the like Crockett Island population 127.
Yeah.
Right?
Crockpot Island.
And then finally the tagline for this show is "Be not afraid."
Ooh. Ooh. I didn't write a synopsis for the 2 episodes. IMDb's little blurb for the first episode says, Riley Flynn returns home to family dysfunction, familiar faces, and a new priest at St. Patrick's. Elsewhere on the island, a dark storm is steadily brewing.
Oh, see, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that because that one's more concise, right? It doesn't give you like a bunch of extra exposition in it.
Let me look at episode 2's also, and we'll see if we like it. For episode 2, which is book 2, Psalms, it says, an unsettling omen washes ashore in the wake of the storm. Later, when the locals gather for a potluck, tragedy strikes and a miracle occurs.
Yeah, I like that.
IMDb be popping off.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I had written some notes while I was watching, and then I have my favorites and scariest. Do you want to do themes?
Yeah. For themes, I have guilt, grief, small town dynamics, faith, and addiction.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I don't think I'd have any to add, honestly.
I feel like guilt plays a huge role in this show so far, whether it's guilt from Riley and what happened with him, or it's guilt from Joe and what happened there. I guess there's a certain level of guilt that's also coming from the sheriff, because he like is supposed to be the person who's watching over the town, and he doesn't necessarily feel like he's worked his way into being accepted in the town, and those sorts of things. Everybody just has something that they're really struggling through in these first couple episodes, maybe with the exception of Bev. The only thing that she's really struggling through is like Monsignor Pruitt didn't come back. But like also like Bev's one of my favorite characters so far.
Really?
Because she's a fucking lunatic, and I love it.
Yeah, she's like the definition of peaked in high school.
Yeah.
Like I like I don't know if Joe says it in this episode, but it seems like Joe has known like their whole life.
Yeah.
Like since they were like 5 in the sandbox, right? And he says something like, she's always been mean.
Yeah.
Like she has always been just like a mean like bitch. And now that she works in this role where she has like some kind of power, she wields it with a crazy amount of authority.
She does. Yeah. She is probably the worst character out of all of them. And I think that's why I like her, is because she's just 100% unlikable.
Oh yeah. 1,000%.
Yeah.
And you can tell it's really funny too, like how many people dislike her. Like it's almost unanimous, and even she knows it.
Yeah.
And she just doesn't give a shit.
No, people tolerate her. Like there's 127 residents on this island, and she is the only one that likes herself.
128 if you count Riley, but he also hates Bev Keen.
He also does. Yeah. Everybody hates her.
Everybody hates fucking Bev Keen.
I didn't do any lore or anything for this because I didn't know if it was actually based on anything. When I was looking through, I didn't see any references to things. Like there's a lot of church references, but like I ain't going to read the Bible for it.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Other than like Catholicism.
Yeah.
That would be the only lore that you would do until we get further into the season.
Yeah.
Like, trust me, there will be moments where we will have lore to actually get into. But I do think for these first 2 episodes, we don't really need to worry about it.
Okay.
We could, if you want to, do our quotes.
Yeah. I had one that
I think I did too.
Yeah. I really liked it. And I think it's because, this has touched probably everybody we know's lives at one point or another. So the only quote that I have is, this is right after the title card for the first episode.
Yeah.
And it's right after the accident, and it's showing that the person that Riley hit has died, and there's an EMT that's helping to like fix him up and everything. And Riley starts praying, and the EMT says, while you're at it, ask him why he always takes the kids while the drunk fucks walk away with scratches. And I just love that.
I actually have that fucking written down. I have that same quote written down. It's not the only quote that I have for episode 1, at least I don't think. But that was also one where I was like, accurate. Yeah. And I love kind of like that attitude that the EMT has too, where he's just like, you're fucking praying right now. Like,
Yeah.
are you kidding me? Like,
Like you can tell that he wants nothing less than to be helping this person.
right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I do like the, that look on Riley's face when he's just sitting there, right? The EMT comes up and he's like, is she going to be okay? She's going to be okay, right? And you just want to look at him and just be like, no, bro. Like,
No.
no.
No. What part of that looks like
okay
she's
to
going to
you.
be okay?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like that when they kind of zoom out on the scene, you see Riley with his hands behind his back. You see some bystanders and you see the like accident. She was on the right side of the road. She's in this cute little Beetle and he obviously veered into her lane, hit her head on, and she flew through her windshield and landed on the ground. Like it was just like brutal.
Yeah. Yeah. When you see all of the equipment laying next to her, yeah, she's going to be fine.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no. You see how far, you see how far she flew from her fucking car?
Yeah.
She flew at least 6 to 8 feet and then landed on the concrete. Like,
Yeah.
no, bro, she ain't going to be okay.
No.
Rest in peace, Tara Beth.
Yeah.
And I love, like, I don't love it, but like when he gets sentenced at trial, he got the minimum sentence. I don't know if you
Yeah.
noticed that. It was 4 to 10 years. But when he was handed that sentence, Tara Beth's family's reaction, they were heartbroken because, like, at the very most, he's going to serve 10 years in prison.
Yeah.
It's like it's a drop in the bucket compared to the life that was lost.
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, he gets what he deserves with Tara Beth haunting the hell out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. That's honestly glad you brought that up because I'm pretty sure that's one of my. I'm pretty sure this is in episode 1. I just wanted to give my quote really quick.
Yeah.
My quote that you didn't already say was Sheriff Hassan mocking Joe Colley when he goes into the back of the supermarket into his like sheriff's office. And he's like, rise and shine, Joe. And Joe's like, why'd you lock me in here, Sharif? And he like, just opens the door like it was fucking open the whole time, and he says, you broke in here last night. You were hitting the window with an oar, screaming about how like you were being chased by some albatross, and he's like, wings as big as an albatross.
Yeah, I thought you wanted in here, or at least in the general store.
Yeah. And Joe says something like, oh, that kind of makes sense if it was an albatross, because, those are bad luck. He says, you would know that if you was a fisherman. He's like, thanks, asshole.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
Oh my gosh. In the not so subtle racism of literally everybody in that town.
No shit.
Like,
oh, God.
All of them, with the exception of like Riley and his brother.
Yeah, no, and
Yeah.
I think like the Flynns are pretty respectful. Like I really only saw it from like the mayor. The mayor and his wife seem very like inclusive but not inclusive. Like
Yeah.
inclusive but also like, oh, but you should come and like hang out with us every once in a while. But it was definitely from Bev.
Yeah.
Definitely from Joe.
Yeah.
And probably, but like I don't really think I saw too much other prejudice against anybody else. Although I did see some against Ali.
Yeah.
Right. And that seemed kind of interesting because I don't think Ali's prejudice from Ucker, right, at the docks. And he's like, oh, you didn't invite Aladdin, did you? I don't think that was because of his race. I think that's because his dad's the sheriff.
I think
Right.
the usage of Aladdin was because of his race.
Absolutely.
So like there is racism there, but
Yes.
it's also his feelings towards him. He's weaponizing racism because he doesn't like his dad.
Yeah.
And
No.
it's because he doesn't like his dad's job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like from a security, like a threat perspective
Yeah.
of like, oh no, we don't want to be around that kid. But I appreciate that you said that. It is definitely that's racist.
Yeah.
Like saying that is fucking racist.
Yeah.
Let me see here. What was your favorite scene from episode 1?
So I was having a hard time figuring out what my favorite scene was going to be. And so I have an honorable mention that kind of spans both episode 1 and episode 2.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm going to try to figure out a favorite from both of them as we go. But my honorable mention that spans both episodes, I just wrote down Crouching Tiger Fleeing Monsignor. Because there's several times where you just see who everybody supposedly believes is the Monsignor.
Yeah.
Just like running away in the dark.
The like 80-year-old Monsignor Pruitt who's supposed to be over on the mainland at pilgrimage in Jerusalem.
Yeah, who's supposed to be on pilgrimage in Jerusalem. Or I guess now at this point, they also believe that he's in the hospital recovering from something that happened on his pilgrimage. But then they see his long coat and his fedora that he always wears just kind of like either in the window or running away in the dark.
Well, yeah. It's just Riley, right, that sees it.
Yeah. Well, Riley sees it, and then it might be in episode 2 where people keep thinking they see, it might be, what's her name? The doctor's mom. The doctor's mom sees someone out the window.
Yeah, I think that happens in the next episode.
Yeah, I think.
But you're right. Happens. Like when the boys go out to the island.
Yeah,
like,
they see the eyes.
Well, they see the eyes, but then like Ucker also sees. He's like, "Did you guys hear that? Like it was like either a heron or a giant bird just flew over us, right?" And you hear it when it takes off. You got the Joe Collie wings big as an albatross. You got that one. Like so, there are people that are like witnessing.
They're
it
seeing
or seeing
something.
It.
Yeah,
and there was even like. A section in episode 2 that I'll come back to. Was that everything you had for favorites?
Yeah, I think if I were to pick a favorite, it probably is the fleeing Monsignor from episode 1.
Yeah.
If I were to say another one, honestly, when they're just showing the island itself, like there's just a few shots where they're showing kind of like an overhead of the island, where they're showing the ships in the dock, where they show like the sign that says "Welcome to Crockett Island," those sorts of things.
Yeah.
I really love the feeling of the island. It gives very much like Pacific Northwest fishing town vibes. And I remember when Nick and I were watching it, me being like, that's somewhere I would live.
Oh, yeah. I think it's actually supposed to be very close to Oregon.
Yeah.
Because Annie says at one point that like, it's a coastal fishing village, but 2, she's talking about neighbors who moved and one of them like got a job in Oregon.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know it was filmed in Vancouver, BC.
Yeah. Right.
And so it is the right vibe for the area. But yeah, I think it was hard for me to pick a favorite because it is just like a lot of exposition, but definitely Crouching Tiger, Fleeing Monsignor.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, my favorite scene, I have some honorable mentions, is the EMT.
Okay.
Asking him. Like, I really like the button end to that scene, as well as when Riley goes into like his first night in prison and he sees Tara Beth.
Yeah.
That first night. And it just kind of sets up this like nightly routine for Riley where like he can't go to bed without thinking about what he's done, about the act that he's committed. One of my honorable mentions was Annie's monologue to Riley about the fishing limits.
Yeah.
When she's talking about the spill. Flanagan's known for these kind of monologues the characters go into, and lots of people find them really like obnoxious, but I find them endearing.
Yeah.
I love a monologue, and I really love when you can focus on one character and they're able to keep your attention.
Yeah.
To the point where, like, for me at least, I almost don't notice that they're the only one talking.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get bored of them talking because I'm noticing all of their little micro expressions as well as the words that they're saying. And then finally, I really appreciated when Annie goes to pick up Riley from the breeze and they're walking home and she's telling him about like, oh, they moved, they didn't even list. This person lives there now, right? And they get home and she says, welcome home. And she goes to walk in and she opens the door and walks inside and Riley just stops right before the fence line. And he just stands there for a second. Like he doesn't, like the hesitation, like fuck.
Yeah.
I'm back where I fucking started, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know why, like that extra has it. And she comes back and she's like, you coming? I just love that like moment of him just being like, damn it.
Yeah. I do also appreciate this setup of the relationship between Riley and his dad, because when Riley gets off the breeze, he's like, he didn't come. And she's like, oh, they have to fish as much as they can right now with all the limits and everything. And it leads into that conversation. And then they get home and you can also kind of tell it's like, oh, he's not here. And then when they sit down later on that night
For dinner.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, that's why he's actually not there. Because, if it were to have been another situation, say that your son hadn't drunkenly murdered somebody, and it had been years since you had seen them. When they got home, fuck fishing for the day. Like, fuck the job for the day. You'd be there.
Yeah.
But there is resentment.
There's definitely tension there.
Yeah.
And I like that Dad like brings it up later.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you brought that up too, because I did write down here that I really appreciated and respected. I said I respect the hell out of Dad for scolding his sons at the dinner table, because I just really love that scene. I like how Ed just kind of stays quiet for the longest time through Riley being like, "Oh yeah, I'm not going to church anymore." You're a altar boy, huh? Well, I didn't see myself going much past acolyte, and right, like, and then them talking about Father Pruitt, and I really like Warren just being like, half the time we have to lead him around the room. Like, I felt so stupid having to ring the bell 3 times or whatever.
Yeah.
And then finally Ed just has it.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is unacceptable. Like, you're not going to sit here at the dinner table and be like, I don't practice religion anymore, and making fun of, Father Pruitt and all of this stuff. And I think he ends it with like, to Riley at least, that like, you're going to be coming to church every Sunday. You can consider it a condition of your parole.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause he even says like, after what you've done, you're going to sit here and say these things.
Yes.
And it's like,
Yes.
oh, yep.
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 Yeah. Yeah. Cause like, you literally are not going to come back after being in prison for 4 years and be like, I don't know what the right word is. Like,
It's kind of like shitting on the way that the town runs.
Yeah. You're coming in with this, like, I'm better than everyone else attitude.
Yeah.
And just like you were saying, yeah, that very stark, like, you're seriously going to come in here right now after what you've done, and you're going to like poo poo on other people.
Yeah.
Like, you haven't done the work yet.
No.
Yeah.
No. Like, maybe focus on redeeming yourself in the eyes of literally everybody on this island. Right. Then you can get back to having the attitude that you did when you were here before.
Or when you left, right? Because
exactly,
I'm sure that Dad also has resentment there for like Riley leaving in the first place to go follow his own dreams, right? Which it truly is what you should want for your children. But like, I'm sure Ed wanted him to stay so he could help him with the fishing village, right? So, or fishing village with the fishing boat.
Yeah, we don't, at least I don't remember picking up on like if this is a generational job or anything like that. Like, I don't know how long the family's been there or anything along those lines. But like, he did probably hope that like, oh, well, this is something that I can pass on to somebody.
Absolutely.
Granted, his younger son is still very much so helping him and going along that path. But like, yeah, you're not going to walk back in after you killed somebody and shit on the way that everything runs here and the religion that your mom obviously leaned on a lot while you were gone, probably in a way to try to redeem you in her eyes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So,
yeah. And I think Ed really was like on top of everything else coming to Annie's defense. Cause like she was not going to scold her sons in that moment.
No.
She is a very passive, very loving mother.
Yeah.
And I like to, this is just like to round out this like thought here. When Ed comes to Riley's room that night and is like, hey, just so you know, your mom went to church every fucking day. Like, not even during mass, just to read a rosary for you and like for what you had done. Like, you need to know that. 2, I know you're coming to church tomorrow. Have you been like going and doing confession, and like, no, I haven't been. Okay, well then you probably shouldn't take the sacrament. Like, that's going to upset your mother, but that's proper. That's respectful.
Yeah.
And, just kind of like laying out these, and this, I wrote this down too. When Ed finally like, he says goodnight for the night, right? He's like, you need anything? And Riley's like, no, I'm good, Dad. Like, I'm sorry about what's going on. And he's like, yep. And he just like, he doesn't know whether to shake his hand or to hug him. And so he just kind of does both. Like, he just kind of shakes his hand and then like pats him on the shoulder and then kind of looks around and leaves. And like, I literally, like, I got emotional. I was like, oh, he was just like, I want to tell my son I love him, but like, I'm also kind of mad at him. So you're like, I don't know how to, or like, not that I'm mad at him, but I just like, I'm trying to navigate this role of being both a parent and like, well, a parent, like being like one who is instilling values and instilling beliefs and instilling rules, but then also one that like wants to be there to support and love them.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they all are also processing what happened.
Yeah.
They're also trying to deduce exactly how their relationship with their son has changed now.
Absolutely.
Because like it shouldn't, but there's no way around it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I
So-
wonder, I mean, I'm sure they probably went to go visit him, right? Because like there's no reason why they
Yeah.
can't leave unless like they, like Annie said, they couldn't afford to leave.
Yeah.
Right? They couldn't afford to leave to go visit Riley for one day because it would like take up the whole day of fishing. I
Yeah.
don't know if that's true though.
No.
I would think if you really wanted to see somebody, you'd make it work, but that's beside the point.
Yeah.
I think the only other, because like I said, I had a bunch of notes here. The only other note that I had from episode 1 that I want to tell you is that every time Bev opens her mouth, I want to stuff it with hot ashes.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the reason why I like her so much is she drives me fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like she as a human is the personification of drain. Like
Yeah.
if you were to distill drain down into one person, it is Bev Keen.
Bev Keen.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
God. I did have one just little bit of commentary from episode 1,
Of course.
which was just, I don't think Pruitt's coming back. That was my one thing was they were talking about how like, oh, he's just on the mainland at a hospital because they're better equipped to handle what he's going through. And I was like, I don't know if it's that he's not coming back at all or if he's coming back in a much different capacity than he was here before.
Right.
But that was the one thing I wrote down like right as I was watching it the first time was like, he's not coming back.
He's not coming back. Father Paul is fucking lying.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't trust his face. Nope.
Or his ass.
Yep. Or his ass. Or
His
him wearing.
manservant. Sorry.
Yep. Or I don't trust his wrong colored robes that he's wearing. I don't.
All right then. Well, what about your scariest scene from episode 1?
So I had a toss up, and either one could be an honorable mention or a scariest because they both have kind of the same fright factor to them.
Sure.
I'll say my scariest is going to be when Warren and what was the dealer's name? Ucker?
Wait. So
Wait.
Bull is the dealer.
Yeah,
and-
Bull.
So Warren and Ucker and Ollie went to the marina to meet Bull because Bull came on the breeze.
Oh, okay.
And and they bought weed from him. And then the three of them, Ucker,
Yeah.
Warren, and Ollie, went to the island.
Yeah. So when they all go to the uppers.
Yeah, the uppers,
And
sorry.
they're all sitting around smoking. A couple of them are drinking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're all having their fun.
Being boys.
Yeah, being boys, doing boy things that they've done for generations.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah. And so they're all just sitting there bullshitting. And then Warren looks over and sees the eyes that are next to him. To me, that had the biggest impact. So I think I would consider that my scariest. My honorable mention is just any of the moments where Riley's victim pops up. Tara? Is that her name?
Beth.
Tara Beth. Yeah. Anytime Tara Beth pops up, it's meant to be striking, but I think it's starting in the second episode. Her presenting herself actually turns into like some really beautiful imagery.
Yeah.
So right now it'll lean into being an honorable mention for scary.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll definitely tell you just to back up really quick when they see because my honorable mention is seeing the in the woods. And
Yeah.
the reason why I really like that scene is at first when they're all there, they're walking out to the upwards and they keep seeing cats. Like the upwards is completely infested with cats. There's so many of them, right?
Drowning in pussy.
They're that's great. To the point where like they're scaring them with their flashlight, right?
Yeah.
And so there's several times while they're like reading their magazines and they're drinking their drinks and they're smoking their smokes that Warren will take the flashlight and like flash it and you'll see the cats, right? And they're darting around and stuff, right? And then it's like a little bit after that a twig snaps and Warren puts his flashlight up and it's very clearly like a dude or like a creature or something is standing there.
Yeah.
But it has the same reflective eyeballs and only Warren sees it. And so Warren goes, "Oh, fuck." And Ucker like responds by falling over like, "What the fuck?" And so they all three of them look behind and there's nothing there.
Yeah.
So I really like that. And then honestly, it's gonna be funny. Is my scariest scene is the second good night with Tara Beth.
Yeah.
So not the first night Riley in his cell. It's the first night when he's home and it's just him. And the reason why that one is scary to me is they like play a seagull noise when she first pops up. Like you see him, he lays down, everything gets really quiet, and you just see the red and blue lights start to reflect on his forehead and like not in his eyeballs, but just on his face. Like you can just see the red and blue. And then you see her and it like makes like a screeching sound, I think is like the best way to put it. And that one actually made me physically jump.
Yeah.
And I like how it's bookended by Riley's premonition that he then has multiple times where he like sees himself sitting on the boat in the middle of the water. And it's like right before sunrise. And then he sees like the inside of the church and he can hear screaming and there's blood all over the walls.
Does that start in episode 2 or episode 3?
No, it's episode 1. It's episode 1.
With the church?
Yeah. It's when he's going to sleep that night.
Oh,
it's like the first night that it's just like a flash. It just shows you like when he's going to sleep that night and he like sees Tara Beth and he sees himself on the boat. It goes through like his premonition where he kind of sees some of the events that are coming up. So I really liked that scene.
Yeah, the imagery of.
I'm pretty sure that was in episode 1.
I don't know.
I wrote it down.
I don't know, but the imagery of him on the boat is just the most beautifully shot scene. For me, like in both of those episodes.
You just fucking wait. You just I hope you like that boat. I hope you like that boat. And anyone who's seen Midnight Mass knows what the fuck I'm talking about.
Should we do for favorite scenes for episode 2?
I think so. I think we should just roll on into it.
For sure.
I will tell you before we do our favorite, just so that I can bring up this point, that what I wanted to bring up was when we were talking about the cats being mauled at the end of episode 1. At the beginning of episode 2, I found this piece of trivia kind of interesting. Wade is talking to Hassan, the sheriff, right? And Hassan's like, this has got to be disease or some sort of predator. Like, this is weird. Like, they're all dead, but like, they're all like, they don't have any blood. Like, where did the blood go? And Wade's like, we had this really weird incident that happened like in blah, 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 where like 120 starlings just fell out of the air. And then like pretty quickly after that, he says, and then after that, we had like a bunch of seals that like washed up on the beach, but they had like holes or something like missing out of them, like chunks missing out of them. And so I was kind of curious I think it was seals. I can't quite remember what creature it was that they were finding that like also had bite marks taken out of them. And so there was a part of me that was wondering like, was that actually like another predator like sharks? Because Wade had said like sharks are a good thing, right? Because where there's sharks, there's fish. Or was it another creature? Yeah. Like the one that's currently haunting like Crockett Island.
Yeah. And I was having a really hard time zooming out of what he was saying because I was so focused on the fact that he's kind of trying to position in a way of like, oh, you weren't here, so you don't know this. You're not a part of the community, so let me fill you in on this. Like that sort of thing.
Definitely. And also trying to do this weird thing of like, yes, this is abnormal, but like, it's not that abnormal. Like, it's not abnormal enough that like I would start a bonfire and burn all of the cats. Yeah. He almost makes it sound like that, where it's like, oh, well, I wouldn't like go call the news or anything. We've had other things that happen like this that are way weirder.
Meanwhile, when the sheriff goes and tells everybody else about it, they're like, oh yeah, makes sense. We should burn them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No shit. Right.
I'm pretty certain that scene actually leads into my favorite scene from that episode.
Oh,
because my favorite scene from episode 2, or my honorable mention for episode 2, is there's a moment where it's Riley and Aaron are walking on the beach.
Yep.
And it is one continuous shot. Mm-hmm. There's no break, no nothing, where they're walking along the beach, and it's a dialogue between the two of them that lasts probably like a minute and a half or like 2 minutes.
Right.
And I don't know what Flanagan was trying to do with keeping that one continuous shot, but it was perfectly executed.
Right.
I love that it turned it into almost kind of like a found footage vibe because the camera's very wobbly. You can tell they didn't put it on any tracks. Yeah. It was very much so like, let's catch this conversation happening naturally. Mm-hmm. And something about that just hit so hard.
And make it feel like you're walking alongside them.
Yeah.
or like somebody's watching them. But I really think it's more of the first one.
I
like
think
you're
so
just like
too.
along for the ride with them.
Yeah, it turns you from a viewer into a participant.
Yeah.
And I really loved that.
I love how I think they end that scene with a pretty funny line too, right?
Yeah.
Where like Riley has to leave because he has to go to the mainland to go to his AA meeting. But he's talking to Aaron like, don't go to the beach. I heard like there's something in like cat feces that like is bad for your baby, right?
Yeah.
Toxocatmosis. Or something.
Yeah.
And Aaron's like, it's toxoplasmosis, and that's more of a myth, right? And he says, okay, well, I gotta go. Don't go down to the beach. I don't want you to catch like toxocatmosis or anything. And she says, don't tell me what to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I loved that scene. I loved it. And then, okay, my other honorable mention for episode 2 is any scene of Bev in the supply closet just cracks me up so much because you can tell they startle her every time she's in there.
Oh, yeah.
But when Nick and I were watching it, we were like, how funny would it be if people walked up, scared her, and she was just like, fucking Christ, you scared the shit out of me. And just like had a full reaction every time and was like full sacrilege about it. And she just is like so perfectly composed every time, which makes her creepy as fuck.
Uh-huh.
And you can tell like there's something wrong with her.
Uh-huh.
But like those scenes just cracked me up. Between Nick and I's reactions mostly. My favorite scene though, which I feel like this is kind of a give, is the very end. The very end of that episode when Lisa stands up and walks up to pick up the sacrament from Father Paul. Yeah, when she walks up to pick up the sacrament from Father Paul and everybody's just like, the fuck?
Yeah, we gotta talk about it because that's also my favorite scene. So we gotta expand on that scene. I honestly, like when I first watched that scene, and even when I watched it last night, it makes me cry.
Yeah,
just because of like how powerful it is. This moment of like absolute awe, and I really like it. There is a really great conversation that comes up later that references this scene that Riley does. But what I really like about this scene is they're doing their typical like sacrament time. They've done it. I mean, they've shown us this same thing like a dozen times probably in these 2 episodes of them taking the sacrament. And every time for Lisa, Father Paul goes to her.
Yeah.
Goes to her to give her both the body of Christ and the blood of Christ. And this time when he first walks up to give it to her, he says, body of Christ, Lisa. And she says, amen. And she holds her hands out to get it. And he just like takes a step backwards. And she kind of hesitates for a second and she like pushes her chair forward because she has like an electric chair. And he goes, nope. And he backs up to walk up the stairs. And you can hear like the other people in the...
I was screaming. I was
you?
like, you fucking asshole.
It's like, what are you? I love how
Yeah.
like the parents, like I think Wade at first is like, what are you doing? Like, stop
Yeah.
it. Like she can't, what are you doing? Like she can't get out. Like cut it out. Like this isn't right. This isn't fair.
Yeah.
Like other people are even piling on like, what are you doing? Right. And then finally she gets up. And
Yeah.
I think like Dolly, the mom, is just like, oh my God. Like they just,
Yeah.
and she slowly but surely takes multiple steps, gets up the stairs, and then puts her hands out. And he says, body of Christ, Lisa. And she says, amen. And that's where the episode ends. And it's
Yeah.
just like, oh,
Yeah. Oh my God. And I'm so excited to talk about the next episode because that has like probably 4 honorable mentions for favorite scenes and 1 really favorite scene that involves Lisa that I'm really excited to talk about.
right?
Yeah.
So yes, that is by far my favorite scene also.
Yeah.
My honorable mention for favorite scene is also another monologue. It's
Yeah.
Riley's tick monologue at
Yeah.
the AA meeting with Father Paul.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it.
It was so good. Because like Father Paul initially, I think because he wants to have more one-on-one time with Riley too. Like that's probably like a huge factor of it. But he asks Riley like, you know, you have to go to the mainland once a week for your AA meetings. I can start a chapter here anytime. Like, and then I could save you a trip. You wouldn't have to go. And he says, like, there isn't necessarily like a huge population of drunk people in Crockett Island, but that doesn't mean there isn't a need for an AA chapter. And he even says, like, there's one full-blown alcoholic already, the guy who's responsible for the injury of young Lisa, right? And like, you could be this shining example for other people to follow.
Yeah.
And then he has Riley for his first session, and he doesn't even know how to start it, right? He doesn't know how to start the whole AA meeting. And so they kind of go through their back and forth. And then I can't quite remember how the monologue starts. I think it's probably just Father Paul just kind of questioning Riley's lack of faith and like kind of how he lost it. And then Riley just kind of telling him how he spent a lot of time in his incarceration, like learning a bunch of different religions. I don't know if he says this to Aaron. I don't know if he says this to Father Paul.
Yeah, he says something to the effect of like, I tried to find God in every place.
Yeah. But he also was talking about how, don't you find it interesting that all of these little teeny tiny towns, they're all super poor, but their churches are super fat and opulent, right? So there's just like ticks just sucking off, just like feeding, like sucking all of these villages dry. Right.
Yeah.
And I loved that monologue. I could pull up the quote, but that's just what I'd written down.
Well, yeah, because it also reinforces what Joe says about like, oh yeah, Bev was all for people taking settlements for the oil spill and then just funneling it all into the church.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. Basically just like profiting off of everyone's heartbreak.
Yeah. Because you think about how like, okay, this oil spill damaged the primary income source for this community.
Right.
And taking this essentially like a stipend that they're getting from this settlement, taking that and funneling it toward Father Pruitt being able to go on a pilgrimage, like that's what they're going to use their money for when that's supposed to be the money for all of them to survive?
Well, absolutely. And I don't know if it's brought up in this episode or not. I'm pretty sure Riley knows about it. He might even bring it up to Father Pruitt about the rec center that they're using for the AA meetings, and is talking about how like Bev encouraged people who got those settlements from the oil companies to invest some of that money back into the church.
Yeah.
Not just to send Father Pruitt on pilgrimage, but to funnel money into this like new building, these new opportunities.
This fancy rec center.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that they thought that they were signing their checks to Father Pruitt, but because Father Pruitt is basically incumbent, they were basically just signing their checks to Bev Keane.
Yeah.
And so they have no idea how much money the rec center actually cost and how much Bev just kept for herself.
Yep.
They have no idea.
I have to say that actually leans into kind of my entire approach to watching this show, because a lot of the reason why I didn't watch it to begin with, because I was like, hella religion coded, not for me.
Right.
But I know you love it, and I know Issa loves it, and I know both of you are not religious people. I know Issa, he's not anti-religious by any means, but he shares kind of the similar vibes toward religion that I do. And so I was like, okay, it must not be what I think it is.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm stoked.
It's very much what you think it is and much more, which is interesting, right? Because like this is kind of, it's not a love letter. It's the opposite of a love letter. Because I think Mike Flanagan grew up in the Catholic Church, either went to Catholic school or went to daily mass or whatever, and had a lot of trauma built around it, just like a lot of people who were in the Catholic faith have a lot of trauma built around it. And so this was kind of his like homage to his experience in Catholicism.
Okay.
And also bringing like a monster creature feature effect to it.
Fun. Okay. Yeah.
But it is still very much religious. Like I feel like the themes and the tone and the storyline, even though there is this like creature feature frosting on top, the cake is religion.
Yeah.
Like I truly believe that. And that's kind of what I like about it.
And not necessarily painted in a bright light. It's like
painted in a very like not even bad light, in a very like neutral light.
Yeah.
I feel like the character of Bev Keane, is dialed up to an 11, but is not that inaccurate from people who
No.
actually exist today who weaponize evangelical like rhetoric.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they use it to like Mrs. Carmody people.
Yeah. Yeah. Bev Keane, to your average religious person, is like the cast of Portlandia to an average Portlander.
Yes.
Where it's like, sure, things are exaggerated a little bit, but honestly, not that much.
Not that much. Yeah. It's not that out of the realm of possibilities, right?
Yeah.
What about scariest scene for episode 2 Psalms?
So for episode 2, I was also having a little bit of a hard time coming up with the scariest scene.
This one was
or
kind
at
of
least
difficult.
honorable mentions, you
Yeah.
know? So I just kind of like took the thing that was just handed to you, which was when I cannot remember his name, the drug dealer.
Bull.
Yeah, when Bull goes into the like abandoned house and then he hears something, he sees something, and then you get an outside shot of him being in the doorway and this wing essentially just takes him. Mm-hmm. And at that point, that's when you get kind of like the first inkling that whatever this is probably angelic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking, that's my scariest scene too.
Yeah.
Also my scariest scene. And I really, really like that scene because even though Bull must have been really fucking high, because like who the fuck would go into that abandoned building when you go, who's there? And it parrots back the same thing that you said that you said out loud.
In your voice.
Fuck no.
No.
Fuck
no.
Even when I'm really high, I'm not doing that. Are you kidding me?
No. When I'm really high, if that would be happening, I'm like, fuck all that. I'm going to go eat pizza rolls.
That's the only like thing that you both of us are like, Bull, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah. No.
No.
No. I could be crossfaded off my ass and I'm still going to be like, I don't fuck with that. Bye.
Anyways, but I do appreciate that scene. It is fantastic for what it is. I mean, you got to give it props because obviously like if Bull hadn't died, if he would have been like, oh fuck that, and would have left, it wouldn't have been as compelling of a scene.
Yeah.
Than if he would have walked in. But it also, in hindsight, just kind of seemed like, who the fuck would do that?
Yeah.
Who the fuck would actually go in there?
Yeah.
But I still appreciated it. I still thought it was a great scene. And that I think that's the first human death too.
Yeah.
That's the first time that like, because the first night, whatever that entity was, just ate all the cats.
Yeah.
It was so hungry that it ate all the cats. And it probably, I don't know if you noticed this, whatever that creature was, came with Father Paul.
Yeah.
Because it was in that big fucking chest that Bev almost opened when she walked in the first episode. Because I remember when Father Paul first dragged it in there, you could hear something banging from the inside of it. Like, let me out. Get me out of here.
Yeah. All right.
And then like, I think in the second episode, I think you see it open at one point. You see it empty. And you're like, oh fuck, like whatever it was is out now.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I had made that connection too. And I was like, interesting. Mm-hmm. This wasn't happening before the chest was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Right. Did kind of happen like right in tandem though, right? Where like, Riley came home. Didn't Riley and Father Paul come home on the same? Yeah, they both came on the breeze. It was just that like when Bev got there, she didn't recognize Father Paul because you see him getting off. You see him with the chest like getting off, right? And she's like looking for him, right? And that's when she's like asking Sturge, did you see Father Pruitt? Did you see?
Well, he would be kind of hard to miss.
He's kind of hard to miss, Sturge. And he's like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Did you have any other honorable mentions for scariest?
No, I don't think so.
The only other honorable mention I had was kind of what I felt was a cop out. I just wrote down rest in peace, Pike.
Yeah.
The goodest boy.
Yeah. I can deal with kids dying and all that sort of stuff, like burn an orphanage, whatever. But
the
dogs.
Oh my God. Oh, the moment that because like the first time I watched it, I definitely probably didn't notice. But the last couple of times that I watched it, there's a very clear 2 seconds of you see Pike and somebody drops a hot dog right in front of him and he starts to eat it and they have the same skirt as Bev. Like it was very, very clear that like Bev fucking did that shit.
Yeah.
And that's why I want to shove her mouth full of hot ashes every time she speaks.
She's definitely a psychopath.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. And I just like, Joe is not a good person and he fucked up. But like, it breaks my heart when he's like, but what did Pike ever do to you? Like,
Yeah.
I get it. I get why you don't like me. I know I'm a piece of shit, but like, what did he do?
Also, in my mind, which granted, this is only based off of what I've seen so far.
Right.
I don't appreciate that Joe has like microaggressions and that sort of thing.
Right.
But also, I feel like Joe is a product of corruption from substance abuse. Like, I don't know if he's necessarily in his heart a bad person.
Oh no.
I think he's a bad person as an outcome of his behaviors and like that sort of thing.
Oh, definitely.
Bev's just a bad person.
Yes. And always has been a bad person. Oh, yeah. I don't really know if you ever really find out why Joe started drinking, other than probably just doing it because why not? Like, you're allowed to. It's your legal right.
You're gonna do?
Yeah, exactly. Like, especially when you're a bachelor, you live on this island and, you know, you've always lived there, so you know everybody, right? And like you never leave. I think he has family that lives on the mainland, but he doesn't see them very often, right? And then when the thing with Lisa happened, his life got completely like bombed. Like his life completely blew apart, right? Because not only did he become unanimously hated in this community that he couldn't leave. And I think he even tells Riley at one point, it's in a later episode where he's like, I don't know why I didn't leave. Maybe it was just because I felt like I deserved to be punished. I deserved to be in a place where everybody knew who I was and what I had done.
Yeah.
So that it would continue to punish me. Like it was probably just because he wanted to continue to punish himself.
Yeah. Yeah. It was his way of punishing himself. And also you can see the guilt on his face, and you know that he's probably drinking his way through it because that's the only way that he can live with himself,
can exist. Yeah.
Ugh.
So that's all I have for episodes 1 and 2.
Same. And I cannot fucking wait to do episodes 3 and 4. I haven't even watched 4 yet, but I'm really excited.
Dude, I can't remember where the tipping point is, but I mean, there's only 7 episodes of this show.
And 3 hits the ground fucking running.
It really does. Yeah. So I feel like what we might do is we might just do 3 and 4 next week and then just wrap up 5, 6, and 7 as like the finale. I was going to see, I don't know if I should do trivia in this episode.
Let me check if each episode individually has trivia. Because if so, that at least won't spoil another one.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you could do that.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
Sick. Okay.
So, I'll do trivia this week. Okay. I'll just find some fun ones really quick. Okay. So we already mentioned this. Mike Flanagan has called this a passion project stemming out of his own Roman Catholic upbringing and his struggles with sobriety. Mike Flanagan originally conceived this as a novel and then a feature film before finally setting on the idea of doing a miniseries. Okay. The name of Crockett Island, the missing priest named Pruitt, the distance from the mainland, its dependence on crabbing, and the presence of a nearby deserted island called the Uppards all point to Tangier Island in Chesapeake Bay, where the 2 most prominent family names are Crockett and Pruitt.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's cool. Zach Gilford and Hamish Linklater had never worked together before, but were very good friends. They lived just a few blocks away from each other and often let their children play together.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
So that's Father Paul and Riley.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
That's cool.
Because I'm pretty sure Hamish isn't that much older
No.
than Zach Gilford.
Okay. So this is fun. Ed Flynn, Henry Thomas, can be seen reading a copy of Stephen King's Revival, which shares some thematic similarities with Midnight Mass. Mike Flanagan was in talks to adapt the novel into the movie, but plans fell through.
Ah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. There's a lot of Stephen King homages in this show, particularly in episode 1. Like Riley has an entire shelf of books when Annie's giving her monologue about the fishing limits. There's a bookshelf that's right next to her, and it has like 5 Stephen King books, and one of them that you can see the title of is Salem's Lot, which is like a big, almost Easter egg spoiler for this show.
Yeah. Yeah, because I kind of already picked up on what's going to happen. Okay. So then let me check for episode 2's trivia really quick.
The only other trivia I will give you that wasn't on that list and is not a spoiler is, Dr. Sarah
Yeah.
and Dr. Sarah's mom.
Yeah.
That she cares for.
The one who's obviously not old, but they tried their hardest to make her look old.
The reason why I brought that up is because the actress that plays mom is like 17 years younger than her daughter, which is done obviously on purpose.
Also, shouts out to a lesbian on the island.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, in an interracial relationship.
Well, that was just their second date. But I guess you're right.
So there's only 2 trivia for episode 2.
Okay.
Which is, according to Mike Flanagan, the cats that were on the beach were stuffed animals that kept washing out to sea between takes. The seagulls were all computer generated.
What? Wow.
Yeah. And then at the Crock Potluck, the band plays a cover of Bartender by Dave Matthews Band while Riley and Father Paul have a conversation on the bench. The subject of the song is metaphorically asking God for mercy and forgiveness as he asks the bartender to fill his glass with, quote, the wine you gave Jesus that set him free after 3 days in the ground. An ironic reference to Riley's alcoholic past, as he is the only one on the island as a self-proclaimed atheist.
I like that a lot.
That's the trivia.
Well, all right then. Do you want to do ratings for these first 2 episodes, or should we just save it for like when we do the whole
I think
show?
we should save it.
I think we should save it too.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything else that we should bring up then for episode 1 and 2.
Oh, I did actually have one. I don't think I brought it up. It was an honorable mention for favorite.
Oh.
I just saw my note.
Yeah.
So I'm not even gonna edit it. This is just gonna be the way that it is. So there's a scene where Riley is walking along the road that ties together like his house and Aaron's house. And so he's walking along the road and Aaron asks him like how he is. And they have a little bit of a back and forth about how like, well, in prison, nobody asks how you are because every day's the same.
Exactly.
And they have a little bit of talk about it. And then he goes home. He goes to bed that night. And when Tara Beth pops up that night, he's like, how are you? And I thought that was just like the most beautiful thing because he's actively engaging with the thing that's haunting him now.
Right.
And in a way that's growth because that's him trying to work through it.
Right.
But at the same time, that also just like ties in that this place that he wants the least to be in and, he kind of has really harsh feelings toward.
Yeah.
Is actually helping him work through this.
Absolutely.
And it might just be because Aaron happens to be there, because she wasn't. But he's working through his trauma through being there.
No, I'm glad that you brought that
Yeah.
up because I can see what you're saying, especially because Aaron kind of gave him the opportunity to find things to continue to live for.
Yeah.
Right? When she kind of like asks him, like, what are you going to do? And he's like, well, I don't have a purpose anymore. I just exist and I take up space and I don't know what to do anymore. Like, I guess I'm just going to go home and I'm going to wait out this storm. And she says, there you go. Start with that. Wait out the storm. And then tomorrow, find a new project. Right. And then even the next day when she meets him on the beach and she says, "You found a new project?" And he says, "Yeah, I didn't really think I was going to be cleaning up dead cats on the beach." And she says, "Hey, you got to start somewhere." Right. So it's just like giving him those little tiny milestones, those little tiny baby steps of like, you are working in the right direction. You
Yeah.
are working towards a direction. And I think that it's pertinent that you bring it up that like, in the past, when he sees Tara Beth, it's just kind of a nightly ritual, but he hasn't in the past really acknowledged her other than her just being there.
Yeah.
And so that truly was that evening when he acknowledges her. And in the same way that Aaron acknowledged him.
Yeah.
How are you? Right?
Yeah. And I do really love the character of Erin. Because she is, at least so far, besides Father Paul, who like, fuck, who cares what he thinks, one of the only characters on the island at that point that hasn't changed the way that they look at Riley.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I think it's because it's let out that like her mom was an alcoholic and like there was never a bottle that she didn't leave empty and all of that. And so she probably sees what he did and is like, that was because of alcohol.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
yeah.
my mom wasn't the same person because of alcohol. And those sorts of things. So I love that she, even though she has trauma that's tied to it also, isn't letting that change how she sees Riley.
Yeah. And I'm sure that she probably, in some affect, is like, wow, he fucked up.
Yeah.
Right? That's a big mistake, right?
Yeah.
But she doesn't, that's not the first thing she says to him.
No.
Right? Where a lot of other people were like Dad, for instance, who I'm thinking of, like, you're going to come here and act like this with what you've done. But Aaron had the opposite approach of like, I'm sorry that you went through this. Like, I'm sorry that this is still obviously haunting you. And I'm sorry that that I'm sorry translated to me as I'm sorry that you drank too much and that you caused this event in your life that you obviously regret.
Yeah.
Right? Some people kill other people and they don't fucking care.
Yeah.
It's the people who do bad things and then feel truly bad for them that you know are good on the inside.
Yeah.
Or the people who don't do bad things with intention, right?
Yeah.
Just sometimes bad things happen,
Yeah.
right? And so I liked that Aaron had that compassion of like, I know you're not a bad person, so I'm sorry that you went through this.
Yeah.
Because I can tell that it's affecting you just as much as it affected Tara Beth and her family.
She is easily the most like compassionate and well-rounded character.
I love Erin.
I love her.
Oh, she's the best. She is honestly the best character.
Should we get into what doing?
What doing? So, last week we didn't record because I went on a 4-day trip with my apprentice / employee Jessica, and we went to Tacoma, Washington, and we went to a dog grooming convention.
Yee.
And it was fucking awesome. It was fucking so cool. I spent like, we spent like close to $1,000 on both our entry tickets to the convention and the Airbnb. I think, yeah, it was like 800 something. But yeah, we stayed from like Thursday morning. I think we got in just before our first class at noon, and then we came home like midday on Sunday.
Hell yeah.
And it was really cool.
Good.
I think we got 3 certifications. I think I was telling you earlier we did because they had like 5 or 6 certifications, and the one that we got was called All-in-One. And so for the 4 days, they'd have a schedule of events, and every day you could kind of choose which seminars you wanted to take. And some of the seminars, if you stayed for the whole time, you got a certification at the end. So we did CPR and first aid, skin assessment, and then difficult dog handling. And hopefully those certifications will be here in the next like month or 2. So that'll be cool. We'll have something that we can actually hang up on the wall and be like, hey, pay me more money. Because look, I went and I furthered my education in dog grooming.
Yeah. Look, I'm more qualified now.
Exactly.
I
Right.
deserve a premium.
I deserve premiums.
Yeah.
But it was really cool. This was the only other dog grooming convention I've been to. I went to as a bathing apprentice back in 2019, right before the pandemic.
Yeah.
I went to the Rose City dog show with my mentors at the time, and it was just here in Portland. And that one was super cool. I was actually telling Jessica that we need to do that one next year because this one was strictly grooming, which was really, really cool. Rose City Dog Show is the AKC dog show. So they show you like all 150 dog breeds.
Hell yeah.
The grooming show that we went to was like mostly poodles and doodles because that's kind of like the cream of the crop. Like that's most of what we do. But I want Jessica to be able to also see like, because we get more than just poodles and doodles here, to see a lot of other different dog breeds and like what they're supposed to look like. So
also,
you can get, like, good.
Dog shows are fun as hell.
They're super fun.
They're so much
and
fun.
Rose City also has agility. And like, I didn't get to watch agility last time because when we went to Rose City, we just went for grooming. It was like grooming and like some of the like regular AKC stuff. I would love to go see agility. I think that would be so fucking cool.
Yeah.
I would love to get into dog agility at one point. But the grooming seminar was really, really awesome. I learned so much information. I could take up several hours of our time talking about it, but it was fun going as a business owner.
Yeah.
And also as somebody to like, there were several times that there were people that were like, hey, who's been grooming in here for like less than 5 years? And you know, people that like raise their hand. And I've been grooming for 6 years. So I'm like now at this point where I'm a business owner. I have an apprentice. I've been grooming for 6 years. I'm not new at this anymore.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool to be able to go and like get some validation. Like I still have a lot of growth to do. And that's one of the things I love about dog grooming is that one, every day is a challenge. And two, I feel like I never have enough information. There's always more I can go and like look for. And so it was just super cool to be there and be like, oh my God, most of these people are where I was 6 years ago. And the other people have been in it for way longer than me. And so it was kind of cool to like be in this middle zone.
That's actually like one of my favorite things about you, and something that I also try to like model myself after, is that even when you are an expert in something, you lead with curiosity and an intention to learn.
Yeah.
And so you were in a space where like you have time under your belt. You've been doing this. You know what you're doing. You have somebody who is actively learning from you. Right. But you're still leading with, I want to learn more.
Exactly. What else can I learn?
Yeah.
There has to be something else.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that's such an impressive quality, because to me, that's the quality of somebody who is like naturally intelligent, is that continued curiosity. So,
well, thanks.
Yeah.
I appreciate a compliment.
Yeah. That's awesome. I'm glad that you got to go and that you got that little bit of validation, but then you also came away with just like a new supply of knowledge.
Oh my
and
gosh.
Also probably feeling a little reinvigorated with what you're doing.
Oh yeah. There were several times, like I'm sure like, not everybody felt this way, but there were several times during the convention that I was like, oh, I can't wait to go home and try this on this client. Yeah. Oh my God, I can't wait for this client to come in so I can recommend this to them. Like that's what really made me excited. But then also kind of learning from even like veterinarians, like top quality people, not just people who were trying to sell their products to you, or people who had just been in the show grooming business for a long time, but then actual veterinarians giving us information and trying to find ways to bridge gaps. Yeah. To find ways that like we could all work together and not feel like we're so separated. So it was just cool.
I love that.
Highly recommend it. Conventions are great. Spend the money. Yeah, that's really the biggest thing I did last week. Other than that, I've just been, I went and I did archery yesterday. I'm trying to get better at that. I'm still working on my form. And I wanted to show you this really quick. I'm working on this new belt. Well, actually, it's kind of a harness, but it's going to hold my quiver. It's going to have some straps to hold my bow. And then it'll also have some straps to hold like a bedroll and or an axe. I'll show you a picture.
Hell yeah.
But I'm working on a little prototype for that. I found one on Etsy that was like $700 or something like that. Yeah. And I was like, I believe it, but I have so much scrap leather that I think I could make this.
Hell yeah.
But anyways.
I love when hobbies bridge.
Yeah. Well, whenever I go to the archery range, I wear my Carhartt pants and I can stick my arrows in like, those little side pockets. Yeah. Like I can stick them in there, but I've seen people come in lately with quivers and they're made of leather. And I'm like, damn, I can make that. Like I want to make that. And we're also Ren Fair season's coming up. Yeah. So I'm always looking for something new to add to my Ren Fair costume. And I really want, because other people bring their like weapons to Ren Fair. It's really lax at Ren Fair, like axes, swords, maces, whatever, right? Yeah. And I want to bring my bow not strung or anything, but I want to bring it and I want to like have a carrier for it.
Hell yeah.
But anyways, I'll look up this picture just for time's sake if
Oh,
you
yeah.
want to work on what have you been up to the last week?
Yeah. So over the last week, Leela took a little bit of a turn toward the worse and then like a full 180 to better. So at least she's better now. Of course, the timing was shitty,
Yeah.
but that's how animal things go.
Well, it was nice that like we could take that break so that you could just focus
Yeah.
on her. Like
Yeah.
I'm glad that you postponed that episode because you needed to.
Yeah, I think it was important. And she had like a really rough 24 hours right before Harrison and I were supposed to leave.
Right.
And so I postponed that too. We already have it on the schedule for another week, so I'm glad that we were able to like recover quickly from it. And then she made a turnaround within enough time for me to be able to do a couple of fun things over the weekend still. So it was nice to still get like a little bit of a breath of fresh air and be like not paranoid about what was happening.
But also be close to home.
Yeah. So Powell's had their independent bookstore day event. So I went and grabbed a couple books.
Wait, did you tell me which ones you got?
I don't think so. So I got a book called The Power by Naomi Alderman.
The Power. Okay.
That I don't know too much about it, but I know that it is one of Bree's favorite books. So I got it just because I trust Bree's recommendation for things.
Well, and that's one of your goals this year.
Yeah. And then I got Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin, which is supposed to be emotional, to say the least. And one of my friends wants to do a buddy read of it. So I'm like, sick.
You're like,
we'll
fuck
do it.
yeah.
Also another person who I trust their recommendations a lot. I'm slowly surrounding myself with book nerds and I'm really excited about it. I'm not the only one anymore. And then I got Night Shift by Stephen King.
I haven't heard of Night Shift before.
It's a collection of short stories.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love a collection of short stories by Stephen King. I think those are my favorite like Kings.
Yeah.
Because they're easier to digest. Like, don't get me wrong.
And then I got If It Bleeds by Stephen King as well.
I haven't heard of that one either.
And then I got The Stand by Stephen King. So I got a lot of Stephen King, but also my two goals for this year were to read through Stephen King's catalog, which isn't going to happen. That would take me the whole year. And also read all of my favorite people's favorite books.
Yep.
So those things are helping me to get through those priorities. And then also over the weekend, my favorite bar, Holy Ghost in Southeast. If you haven't been and you live in the area, absolutely do it. If you're visiting, absolutely do it. Coolest bar ever. The drinks are wild. But it's not a super hip popular place. So you still get to feel like you get to sit down and enjoy your time.
Oh, it's super awesome in there.
I love it.
I love the vibe in there. And I like that like you can go in there and you can order food from adjacent restaurants and they'll bring it to you in that bar.
Yeah.
And I fucking love that.
I always have a really hard time trying to describe the vibe because I'm like, it's like lightly sacrilege, but it's also nautical, but it's also very Portland and also kind of botanical. It's just hard to say.
It doesn't have any firm particular vibe.
No.
It's got a lot of vibes.
Yeah.
It's very spacious. It's super like clean and like
very bright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But there's also a lot of like cute little areas that you can tuck into.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah, they had a takeover event from Hendrick's Gin. So everything was very botanical. They had a like build a bouquet bar. They had a build your own gin and tonic where they had like a few different types of gin and a few different flavors of tonic and then a bunch of different toppings that you could put in.
That's actually so cool.
Yeah. And then they also had like giant Jenga that they put outside that I'm pretty sure Nick and I won Jenga. I don't think we could have gotten it any taller. And then they had a tattoo artist. So I got a flash tattoo. Nick got one also.
Nice.
And it was nice to just like go out, do something wild, have a good time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just like for that to also be in a really comfortable space for me. Cause like I know all the bartenders at this point, like we're buddies.
Fuck
so
yeah.
it was cool.
The next time they have
Yeah.
one of those, I gotta go. That
Yeah.
sounds like so much fun.
I'll let you know. It was a really good time.
Because Harrison would drink the gin and tonic. I will make the bouquet and I will get the flash tattoo.
Yeah, they do. It's like primarily a mezcal and tequila bar.
Yeah.
But they do takeovers of like,
I mean, I love
everything.
tequila. I
love
don't.
tequila
I just
too.
don't drink that often.
Yeah, so I'll definitely let you know when the next one happens. It was
Yeah.
a great time. It was sunny outside, so we got to just like sit outside.
Yeah,
and it was,
right?
Yeah, it was cool.
And hopefully you won't have to wait too long before you can like get into the water with your new ink.
Yeah, I think it's healing way faster than my leg.
Well, yeah,
did,
it's in a pretty good spot. It's pretty
Yeah.
close to there's an artery right around here.
Yeah, and there wasn't a ton of shading like there was on my legs, so
Right.
that helps.
Right.
And then I guess the only other thing that I really have to mention is that I finished Salem's Lot and fucking stellar.
Yeah.
I am not a vampire person. Like vampires are, to me, they're way overplayed. I don't really touch anything vampire related anymore.
I'm kind of the same.
Yeah, that book hits.
It slaps.
It is so good.
Okay.
So good. And the ending. Oh,
Ooh. Okay.
yeah.
Oh.
It's
a
a
good
good one.
ending.
It's a good
A
one.
good ending for Stephen King.
Yeah.
Okay, I will put it on my list. I told you earlier, but I got 2 audiobooks today. I got the sequel to Vicious by V.E. Schwab. It's called Vengeful, which is a direct sequel, apparently. And then I also got The Shining by Stephen King. So I will try and listen to either one of those or both of those by next week, but we will see. I get them for a whole month, so.
I am adding my 2025 reads to highlight on Instagram right now. So I was going through and like figuring out what ones I had done.
Oh.
And I counted. And this last time that I read The Shining was my 6th read through. So I'm like, all right, I've done it 6 times. At least now I know.
Yeah.
So I'm so stoked for you to listen to it because I don't think I could know more about that book.
Right. I'll tell you what I think about it.
Yeah.
I'm listening to it. And I don't think Vengeful's very long either. I've been trying to like listen to both of them when I'm just like grooming.
I'm so stoked for you to like get a better perspective of Jack and like of all of the different characters because they're just so much better than the movie.
Yeah. Oh, it's already way better than the movie.
Yeah.
I'm almost, I think I just hit the half-hour mark.
Oh,
so
sick.
We just got into the scene where he injured Danny.
Oh,
Where he
okay.
broke Danny's arm, which I love that moment of like him describing the sound as being loud but not loud.
Yeah.
Because I've broken a bone before, not my own bone, other people's bones, and
Yeah.
I know. Not on purpose. I'm just prefacing that. It was an accident. We were wrestling and I was doing, you remember like in The Lion King when Simba and Nala are play fighting and he like picks up her shoulders and slams them on the ground. I did that move, but to one of my friends and I broke her collarbone and like I carried her home and I apologized to her parents.
Yeah.
But I know that sound
Yeah.
very, very, very clearly. That like pencil lead breaking sound.
It has one of the best opening lines too. It's like Jack thought a vicious little prick, and it just goes right into the interview.
Right into it.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
I love his like inner monologue.
Oh my god.
It's so great.
And there's sections where it's like inner monologue gets like dissected by things that you can tell is hotel influence. Oh my god, it's so good.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited. All right, well I think that
about wraps it up for the night. Echo, guess what? It's time to go home.
Yeah.
Echo baby. Have a good night.
Bye.
Hey everybody, it's Karina. I'd like to tell you of a couple of announcements. We have got a Patreon now. You can subscribe at patreon.com/itsalwaysspooky. For $5 a month, we will be having some very special features, so stay tuned for those. Starting with every week, we'll be posting what episode we're planning on doing, so please make sure that you post your scariest and your favorite scenes so that we can feature them in the episode. If Patreon isn't your speed, you can also send us a tip on our Ko-fi account. That's kofi.com/itsalwaysspooky. Please also email us your spooky stories and any recommendations to itsalwaysspookypodcast@gmail.com. Thank you so much.
It's always spooky.